Angeles basin. This is Mission Control Houston. Again, we're getting a live view of the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft with the Space Shuttle Endeavor there atop, preparing for its takeoff there at the NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center and the Edwards Air Force Base. The Shuttle Carrier Aircraft and Endeavor will salute NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center and the Edwards Air Force Base area after takeoff with a low flyby northbound to Sacramento and the San Francisco Bay Area. Several viewing locations that will include the Bay Area Discovery Museum, Chabot Space and Science Center, the California State Capitol, Exploratorium, Lawrence Hall of Science, and Monterey Bay Aquarium. Again, we are now watching the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft as it is taxiing down the runway with Endeavor attached to its top, preparing for its takeoff here in just minutes. This is Mission Control Houston. This is Mission Control Houston. Again, we are getting a live view of the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft carrying Space Shuttle Endeavor as it prepares to depart from the Edwards Air Force Base in just a few minutes here to begin its 4.5-hour flyover of Northern California and the Los Angeles basin. This is Mission Control Houston. Again, we are bringing you now live coverage of the 747 Shuttle Carrier Aircraft that is carrying Space Shuttle Endeavor as it prepares for its departure from the Edwards Air Force Base after an overnight stay at NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center. It will begin a 4.5-hour flyover of Northern California and the Los Angeles basin. This is its last leg of its road trip to its final home in California. Again, this is live coverage of the 747 Shuttle Carrier Aircraft with Space Shuttle Endeavor strapped to its back, preparing for takeoff. Takeoff is planned we are bringing live coverage of the 747 Shuttle Carrier Aircraft that's carrying Space Shuttle Endeavor as it prepares for takeoff there at Edwards Air Force Base after an overnight stay at NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center. Now. Mission Control Houston, we're getting live coverage of the 747 Shuttle Carrier Aircraft carrying Space Shuttle Endeavor. Takeoff there from the Edwards Air Force Base on its last leg of its final ferry flight. Before reaching its future home at the California Science Center. Wheels up at 10:17 a.m. Central Time, 11:17 Eastern. The youngest of the Space Shuttle fleet, now headed to its future home at the California Science Center. Viewing locations that include the Bay Area Discovery Museum, Chabot Space and Science Center, the California State Capitol, Exploratorium, Lawrence Hall of Science, and Monterey Bay Aquarium. Now looking at a beautifully executed takeoff. It looks to be on a gorgeous day there. Folks are encouraged to go outside, look up, and take your best shot. And share your images on social media using the hashtag #SpotTheShuttle or OV105, which is Endeavor's vehicle designation. Endeavor's construction was completed back in July of 1990. It was then delivered to the Kennedy Space Center in May of 1991 and launched its first flight into space almost exactly 1 year later on May 7th of 1992. Space Shuttle Endeavor completed 25 successful flights. It had docked to the Mir Space Station once and to the International Space Station 12 times. Had traveled more than 122 million miles at the California Science Center. This is Mission Control Houston. We're bringing you live coverage of the 747 Shuttle Carrier Aircraft carrying Space Shuttle Endeavor, the youngest of the Space Shuttle fleet. After having departed from the Edwards Air Force Base after an overnight stay at NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center. Endeavor passing regional landmarks such as its future home at the California Science Center, Columbia Memorial Space Center in Downey, Disneyland, the Getty Center, Griffith Observatory, Los Angeles City Hall, the Long Beach Aquarium of the Pacific, Malibu Beach, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, the Queen Mary, Universal Studios, and Venice Beach, among others. At about 2:45 p.m. Central Time, 12:45 p.m. at the Los Angeles International Airport for an arrival ceremony before Endeavor is then taken off the 747. The orbiter then will be transported to the California Science Center next month.